we discuss the latest news surrounding Mohammed Kudus. To move on, Pochettino has some concerns. Do we have enough experience for his squad? And to end things, we discuss the latest updates around Romeo Lavia. So right now, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button. Let's try and keep over 3k likes, and of course, share your thoughts and opinions too behind these stories. So before we get into anything, today's video was brought to you by Parimatch. Today's video is sponsored by Chelsea's official betting partner in Parimatch UK. Parimatch are currently offering new customers the opportunity to get £30 in free bets to use on any football market, including upcoming Chelsea friendlies, when you place a £10 bet on any football market. Now, to claim this promotion, you must create a Parimatch account, make a deposit of £10 or more, and opt into the promotion. You then need to place your first £10 bet on any football market on odds of 2.0 or higher. You must do all of this within 7 days of registering your account to qualify. Now, all the links you need are in the description below. Thank you to Parimatch UK for sponsoring today's video. Let's start things off and let's get the quick story out of the way first, and we talk Romeo Lavia. Now, as we know, Liverpool are in advanced talks right now to try and sign him. Jurgen Klopp has had many favourable conversations with Lavia, and Lavia is more than keen to sign for Liverpool. So you might be wondering, Nini, if he's going to go to Liverpool, why are you bringing this story up? Well, we turn our attentions to Belgian journalist and Sacha Tabuleri, and he basically says that due to Joe Shields, our chief scout who's been really pushing us to sign Romeo Lavia. He was the guy who was instrumental in bringing him from Man City's academy to Southampton. And of course, Shields feels that this guy has elite potential in the making. And I think for a 19-year-old in his first debut Premier League season, like, his importance to Southampton's midfield, it can't be understated. He's a big player in the making. But my thing comes down to this: what has been taking us so long to make an offer? That's been the main concern, and it seems like this concern is something that Liverpool don't want to fall victim to. Right now, they've had a 39 million effort rejected by Southampton, and even though Southampton originally wanted 50 million, it does seem like they are more than happy to settle for around 45 million. And Liverpool's latest offer that is expected to come in today is set to be around 42.5 million up front, with a further 2.5 million in additions. So my thing is, could we make an 11th hour bid to try and sign him? I'd be very surprised, but he does mention the fact that we are still hovering behind the scenes. I feel like we'd have to act really quick though, because he's already agreed 5-year terms to Liverpool. And even though we've had multiple conversations behind the scenes with Lavia all throughout last season, even getting Lavia's blessing, right now, all our attention is now focused on Moises Caicedo. And it gets me thinking this: all of the talented DM options we're looking at, or defensive mids, these guys are getting bought off the market now. Lavia could be going to Liverpool. Declan Rice is off the market. Tchouameni is incredibly ambitious, but I'm not seeing that one happening anytime soon. I feel like we're in this position now where we are going to be forced to have to pay the money for Moises Caicedo, because who else is going to have at least some Premier League experience, and who's going to have the same quality other than Caicedo? Regardless though, we've been hovering around the scenes for far too long. We haven't made any concrete efforts to try and sign him, and it makes me not worried, but maybe a bit skeptical behind our transfer approach now, because there's tons of interest and reports about interest, but not enough bidding. And when we are bidding, it seems like we're starting pretty slow. In McAllister, Szoboszlai, and now Lavia, that would be 3 midfield targets that Liverpool have signed from us. What is actually going on? Let's now talk the latest news on Mohammed Kudus. Right now, we are the main favourites to be signing him. There is interest from Man United and also from Arsenal. So let's start with Arsenal first. Arsenal really appreciate Kudus and what he can offer. Ideally, they want to have another midfield option that has that additional qualities, and that, they're very flexible and can play across multiple positions. However, Arsenal must sell first, and names such as Florian Balogun, names such as Kieran Tierney, and originally Partey, and it's looking like Partey is set to remain. These players will have to be sold first before Arsenal can spend any more money. So this is where we have a major advantage. In the case of Man United, Ten Hag is a massive admirer. Of course, he's worked alongside him at Ajax, and Kudus is being explored as a potential backup option in case they can't find an agreement with Atalanta to try and sign Højlund. So this is positive news, because it tells you that There is interest, but he isn't their main focal point at this point in time, whereas us, on the other hand, we need someone of his dimensions. We look at this 4-2-3-1, and obviously the right wing role, the Eriksen role. Essentially, you're playing as a /8/10, and in that sense, I think Kudus is by far the most perfect fit for a system like this. We have agreed personal terms with Kudus already, and to make things even better, right now Kudus is adamant that he wants to leave Ajax and he wants to sign for us. Of course, he's refused to sign a contract extension, and he's also refused to attend the past 2 training sessions with Ajax as well. Now, Ajax have been persuading him to try and remain there because they feel like if they can keep him for one more season, if he's a massive success, he'll move for even more money the following season and he'll command an even bigger fee. However, Kudus is playing things smart. And listen, sometimes in transfers, you can't always do things the moral way. You have to do things the tactical way. And obviously, he would have seen what happened to his teammate in Edison Alvarez last summer. And obviously, Alvarez thought he was going to get a last-minute deadline day move to us. It never materialized. We never came back in for him. And that opportunity to sign for us was lost forever. So this is what happens if you don't take opportunities. So I think Kudus is doing the right thing to force Ajax now to have to negotiate. I'm hoping we get this one done. I think now that Mason Mount's gone, I think signing Kudus as his replacement would be the perfect one. I know you guys have seen my video breaking down his game, but I just feel like, this type of profile of player we're moving for really excites me. Not only is this guy a hard worker, not only is he ridiculously intelligent, he knows when to move the ball at the right time here and there, but it's that press resistance. It's how he combines all his skill sets together and he becomes a very formidable player where, in my opinion, he still has a lot more room to grow. He's a match winner. He's someone that takes the game to his opponents. He's someone that makes things happen in game. And I can't help but imagine the combination between maybe Nkunku and Kudus and that type of interchange, because Kudus is also someone that is recently excelling playing as a forward and a number 9. And someone that is this good playing across multiple positions, I feel becomes an even shrewder piece of business. And most importantly, he's like 23, approaching 24 years old. We need some players in this age group where they're closer to reaching their prime years compared to someone who's 19, 20, 21, where they're a few more years off. Kudus has international experience, European experience, domestic experience as well too. For me, this is a no-brainer. Let's get things done. And it seems like Ajax are valuing him. And it seems like Ajax do value Kudus at around £40 million, which, listen, isn't too bad considering this guy's talent and prospects. And if he's willing to sign for us when we don't have any Champions League football, that makes things even better for me. So, can't lie, it'd be nice to see another countryman signing for us. Obviously, Michael Essien was the king. I had hopes for Baba Rahman, but I feel like Kudus is ready to challenge that mantle that was left by Michael Essien. And I think this guy on the right-hand sides, with Nkunku, Mudryk, and Jackson up front, this is looking like a very balanced and exciting attack for next season. So that's the latest news surrounding Mohammed Kudus. We feel confident that we can secure this, as we are the main front runners in this deal now. So my friends, let's now end things by discussing Pochettino's insights and concerns for next season. Now, in the press conference before our game against Newcastle, Pochettino was joined alongside Reece James. And, we learned a few things behind what Pochettino's thinking at this point in time. And we learned things in regards to potential exits, to the youth that he currently is working with, season expectations, and of course, squad improvements to make in the market. To start with things though, we discussed the captaincy. And it seems like Reece James is in the running now to take over as captain for next season. Pochettino had big admiring words for him, mentioning the fact that he's the past and the future. He has a connection to the club based on coming from the academy, and Pochettino really admires him. And of course, James was beside him, and it seems like Reece is more than prepared to take over this role. And if there was anyone in this team, I would probably give it to Reece. I feel like Reece can probably grow even more as a person. He can grow more in terms of his leadership. He's always been someone that commands respect around him. And for me, the most important thing is your captain must be playing week in, week out. Like, it defeats the point if your captain is on the bench. Use someone that's going to play, and I think that's Reece James. Now we discuss potential exits and we talk Conor Gallagher. As we know, West Ham want to come back to try and make another bid to sign him. They're fearful though that Gallagher prefers to remain here, And could that even be the case now? Because Pochettino did kind of confirm his support for Conor Gallagher by saying that he is someone that is still in his plans. Now, the reason why he's even being considered to be sold is not because Pochettino said move him on. It's because the sporting directors, of course, they're in control of managing and building the squad. So they'll have their own ideas, their own strategies, and naturally these guys will want to implement them. I do think at times though, is it just forcing too much too soon? Like, how close are we to securing replacements now? And when you consider the fact that Gallagher is our most oldest experienced midfield player, and that really just reveals a lot about the current state of experience that Pochettino wants. It does seem like we will only sell Gallagher if we receive a crazy offer, and the offer we want is around £50 million. So there's not necessarily a desperation to sell him, but I guess it's more of like an opportunistic move of, okay, can we cash in on someone that we feel we could replace with someone cheaper, or we feel that we have younger prospects that can be better than him in the next year or two. So let's capitalize on this moment and sell him at his highest value. That could be the thinking. And I guess I'd have to ask you guys, do you agree with this, or do you think things are going a bit too far? Because this doesn't only fall on Gallagher. Chalobah is another player who has committed himself to remaining here. And you'd also say he's one of the few experienced players we currently have. Now, of course, Inter Milan are expressing some interest, but recently Pochettino, of course, said that Chalobah's been doing really well. But for Chalobah, it seems like we could be happy to sell him because there is strong interest now around Marc Guéhi. But again, I present these questions to you guys. Like, how do you feel about these potential exits? Is it too much now? And of course, to end things, Pochettino spoke about strengthening the squad. He said ideally, he wants to bring in one more midfield player of experience. And naturally, based on other comments from previous press conferences, that player is Moises Caicedo. So is this subtle pressure from Pochettino to try and force the club to wrap this deal up? Yes, he's going to cost a ton of money, but right now, premium targets are getting taken off the market. And I don't want to spend big money on someone that doesn't have that type of elite midfield potential that Caicedo definitely has. Like, if you're signing Enzo Fernandez's, you're signing them knowing that you're going to give Enzo an incredible supporting cast, and I think Caicedo and Enzo just make so much sense together that I would be disappointed if we didn't find an agreement. Maybe that might take Egbali or Boli having more influence in negotiations. Of course, these guys are instrumental in helping us sign Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, more so than our sporting directors. So hopefully these guys can come in and make something happen, because it's quite clear that Pochettino now is feeling a bit concerned about the lack of experience. As he mentioned, listen, I love the profiles I have. We got tons of young players with big potential, but the reality is when you manage a club like this, we have pressure to win. We have pressure to secure targets. And that is something I've had to accept over the years. And he's right. For me, experience is deeper than, having like really talented, skillful, technical young players. Experience is about those intangibles that happen in game. I mean, it's the Premier League. There are going to be times where we're playing without the ball. There are going to be times we're under pressure. There are going to be times when the team has more physicality against us, or they're going to outsmart us from set pieces, or there are difficult moments in game. Having experience alongside incredible talent and potential, that is the best balance that's needed to compete in the Premier League. Right now, Enzo, if Gallagher does leave, is our most experienced midfield player, and he's been in the country for less than a year. I think Pochettino has to get supported when it comes to these demands, because it's not the first time he's mentioned this lack of experience in the team. And the fact we're hearing him mention this a few times now consecutively tells you that this is a serious thing. Now, he had hopes to work with Mason Mount. He prefers to keep Gallagher here to work with, but obviously the club have been taking things into their own hands, and Pochettino has shown that he is more than happy and he's more than flexible to work under these parameters. But there has to be a balance. If you want this guy to be a success, don't undermine his work. We do this to every single manager. Even the ones that I don't have too much of a soft spot for, I can understand and accept that if they had the right players they needed, they would be a lot better. And it's like, I don't want to see another situation again where we recreate this like cycle of mediocrity where managers have impossible tasks, they don't get properly supported, and we keep on repeating this pattern every single season. Like, it has to stop here with all these massive changes we're currently making, right? So my friends, that is the latest news today. Share your thoughts and opinions, and of course, keep your notifications on for the live stream for tonight and the match review too. So I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.